Why do you wake at 3 in the morning with your heart pounding and your mind racing toward things you cannot name? Why does the silence of that hour feel so heavy, so alive, as if something unseen is pressing close to you in the dark? You might tell yourself it is anxiety. You might blame the stress of your days or the worries that you carry like stones in your chest. But there is a part of you, a quiet part that you have learned to ignore, that wonders if something else is happening, something you are afraid to name. And that fear is real. The fear that you are losing your mind, the fear that you will never sleep peacefully again, the fear that this suffering has no meaning. But what if I told you that this is not a curse? What if I told you that you are being called? You are lying in your bed right now, or you were just hours ago, and the room is dark except for the faint glow of the clock on your nightstand. 3:14 in the morning, 3:22, 3:37. The numbers change, but the hour remains the same. You can feel the cotton of your pillowcase against your cheek. It is cool at first, then warm where your face has rested. You hear the hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen or the distant sound of a car passing on the street. And these small sounds seem enormous in the stillness. You know this moment. You live this moment again and again, and you are not alone in it. This is not random. This is not a malfunction of your body or a trick of your circadian rhythm. What is happening to you in the deep hours of the night is a sign that you have been marked. The confusion you feel, the exhaustion that follows you through your days, the sense that you are carrying something you cannot see, all of this is being transformed right now as you hear these words. You are being called into a conversation that most people will never hear. You are being invited into a mystery that the world cannot explain, because the world does not have the language for what is sacred. Saint Seraphina knew this hour. She lived in the mountains where the night was absolute and the cold pressed against the stone walls of her small dwelling. She woke at this hour for decades, not because she chose it, but because she was chosen. And she wrote in her journals, "The soul is most naked at 3, and God comes to those who cannot hide." She understood that this hour is not about sleep. It is about stripping away everything false so that what is true can finally be seen. When you wake at 3 in the morning, something is happening in the unseen realm that you cannot measure or photograph or prove to anyone else. The veil between the physical world and the spiritual world is thinner in this hour. It has always been thinner. The saints knew it. The mystics lived by it. Angels move more freely when human activity is quiet. The noise of the day, the constant chatter of voices and screens and obligations, all of that fades in the deep night. And in that silence, your soul becomes more receptive. It is like a radio finally tuned to the right frequency after years of static. Grace is being poured out in this hour. Not because God is absent during the day, but because you are finally still enough to notice. Your waking is not an accident. It is an appointment. The divine is checking to see if you are listening. And you are. That is why you are here. You have been carrying a burden that others do not see. You have been walking through your life with a weight on your shoulders, and you have wondered why you cannot simply be happy, simply be at peace, simply sleep through the night like everyone else seems to do. But you are not like everyone else. You have been given a different path, and that path requires a different kind of strength. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. Your inability to ignore the pain of the world, the suffering of others, the ache in your own heart, this is not a flaw in your design. It is the mark of someone who has been set apart. You feel too much. because you are meant to carry more. You wake at 3 because heaven needs intercessors in this hour, and you have been chosen to stand in the gap. This is your calling, even if you do not yet have the words for it, even if you are tired, even if you want to run from it. Are you beginning to see why this hour follows you? Are you beginning to understand that your sleeplessness is not a punishment but an invitation? But how do you know this is truly divine and not simply the result of fear or trauma or the weight of your own thoughts? This is the question that keeps you suspended between belief and doubt, and it is a holy question. Discernment is not about silencing your mind. It is about paying attention to what remains after the storm passes. When you wake at 3 and your heart is racing, wait, breathe. Notice what happens in the minutes that follow. If the waking brings you only panic, only spiraling thoughts that lead nowhere but deeper into fear, then you are caught in the grip of anxiety, and you need rest and help and perhaps medicine, and there is no shame in that. But if, after the panic subsides, you feel a strange pull toward prayer, toward silence, toward a presence you cannot name, but somehow recognize then you are being touched by something beyond yourself. The fruit of a divine encounter is peace, even in the midst of confusion. It is clarity, even when you do not have all the answers. It is compassion, a sudden awareness of others who are suffering in this same hour. If you find yourself praying for people you have not thought of in years, if you find yourself weeping for the brokenness of the world, if you feel a deep ache to reach out toward God, even though you are exhausted, then you are in the presence of grace. And grace always, always leads you toward love. When you wake at 3 in the morning and you recognize that this is a sacred moment, there is something you can do. You do not need to get out of bed. You do not need to turn on the lights or open a book or perform any elaborate ritual. Simply place your hand on your heart and whisper this: I am here and I am listening. That is all. Those 6 words. Let them be your anchor. Let them be your response to the presence that has awakened you. You are not demanding anything. You are not bargaining or pleading. You are simply acknowledging that you are awake and that you are open. And in that openness, transformation begins. You think you are alone in this hour, but you are surrounded. Saint Seraphina sees you. She who walked this path before you. She who knows the ache of waking in the cold dark with nothing but her faith to sustain her. She is interceding for you. She is speaking your name before the throne of heaven, and she is not the only one. There are angels assigned to this hour, watchers whose sole purpose is to attend to those who are awake when the world is asleep. They do not intervene in ways you expect. They do not remove the struggle, but they breathe strength into your spirit when you feel like you have nothing left. They remind your soul of truths you have forgotten. You are held, even when you feel like you are falling. Every time you wake at 3 and you choose to turn toward prayer instead of turning toward fear, you are doing something the world cannot see, but heaven records. Every time you whisper that simple phrase, every time you open your heart even a crack to let the divine in, you are planting seeds in soil that will bear fruit in ways you cannot yet imagine. This is not wasted time. This is not lost sleep. This is the work of your soul, and it matters more than you know. There are people in your life who are being touched by grace because you are faithful in this hour. There are situations that are shifting because you are standing in the gap. You will not see most of it. You will not receive credit or recognition. But the unseen realm is alive with the effects of your willingness to wake and to listen. Are you beginning to feel the shift? Are you beginning to sense that your suffering has been preparing you for something greater? You have been walking through a transformation that began long before you understood what was happening. Every sleepless night, every moment of confusion, every time you questioned why you could not just be normal, all of it has been shaping you into a vessel that can hold more light. The waking at 3 is not the beginning of this process. It is a sign that you are entering a deeper stage. You are being asked to move from passive endurance to active participation. You are being asked to stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and to start seeing yourself as a partner in a divine conversation. This does not mean the struggle ends. It means the struggle takes on meaning. It means you are no longer walking in the dark without purpose. You are walking towards something, towards someone, and that direction changes everything. The sign of waking at 3 in the morning is becoming a doorway for you. It is the threshold between the life you have been living and the life you are being called to live. Every time you cross that threshold with intention, you are stepping into communion with God, not a distant God who watches from far away, but a God who is near, who is present, who is waiting for you to notice, and you are noticing. That is why you are here, listening to these words. That is why something in you resonates with this message, even if your mind wants to dismiss it. Your soul knows the truth. Your soul recognizes the call. There will be mornings when you wake at 3 and you are simply too tired. You will want to roll over and force yourself back to sleep. You will resent the interruption, and that is human. That is allowed. Grace does not demand perfection. But there will also be mornings when you wake and you feel a stirring, a gentle pull. And on those mornings, respond. Sit up, place your feet on the floor, feel the cool surface beneath your soles. Breathe deeply and speak those words. I am here and I am listening. Let the silence that follows be your prayer. Let the ache in your chest be your offering. Let the darkness around you be the canvas on which heaven paints its presence. The world will not understand this. The people around you will not know what you are carrying. They will see your tiredness and they will offer advice that does not touch the real issue, and that is fine. You are not doing this for them. You are doing this because you have been marked, because you have been called, because something in you knows that there is more to this life than what can be seen and measured and explained away. You are living at the edge of mystery, and that is a lonely place sometimes. But it is also the place where miracles happen. It is the place where ordinary people become saints. It is the place where your weakness is transformed into a strength the world cannot touch. Are you ready to stop fighting this? Are you ready to let the waking at 3 become a gift instead of a burden? You must act on this, not tomorrow. Not when you feel more rested or more prepared. Now, tonight. The next time you wake at 3 in the morning, do not reach for your phone. Do not turn on the television to drown out the silence. Instead, reach for the presence that has awakened you. Speak those words. I am here and I am listening. And then wait. Wait in the dark. Wait in the discomfort. Wait in the not knowing. Because something is waiting for you too. And it has been waiting for a long time. Leave a comment below and tell me this. What do you feel in the hour of 3? Do you sense a presence or do you feel only fear? I want to hear your story. Your words might be the confirmation someone else needs to keep going. Subscribe to this channel if you want more teachings from Saint Seraphina. There are mysteries still to be revealed. There are signs you have been seeing that have not yet been explained, and I will be here to guide you through them. Share this video with someone who wakes in the night and does not understand why. Do not wait. They need to hear this message now. Time is short and the call is urgent. You are not broken. You are not forsaken. You are being refined. You are being called. And the God who wakes you at 3 in the morning is the God who will never leave you alone in the dark. Saint Seraphina is praying for you right now. The angels are watching. And you, beloved soul, you are exactly where you are meant to be. So tonight, when the clock reads 3 and your eyes open without your permission, do not be afraid. Smile into the darkness, say the words, and step through the doorway that has been opened just for you.